Craig here. Welcome to my kitchen and cooking with a drench. As you can see, I have a very small under-equipped kitchen, but from here what I'd like to do is share with you the meals that I enjoy preparing for myself and my family. Everything is done on a larger than normal scale, just purely so that I can meal prep and then freeze whatever I make, so it's easier when I come home from work just to defrost and heat food up. I don't find it makes much difference, so it works really well for me. All the recipes I use are very easily scaled up or scaled down as you like, and what I will also do is I will put the recipes into the description so they're quite easy to find for you. As you can see, I don't have a cooker, so the way that I cook is I use my Tower air fryer. I've also got a Tower Plugin Hob. This has made timings a little bit different, particularly with the hob, as it can sometimes be quite difficult to get that up to temperature. I also have a DeLonghi combo oven and microwave, which tends just to get used for heating or defrosting items, but I do sometimes use it for baking and grilling, just depending on the size. I will leave a link for all of these products in the description below. I normally only food prep once a week, usually on a Sunday. You will see that I will sometimes use frozen veg, which I have prepped, so I will stand and I'll prep things like carrots and onions. I don't prep all my veg, and sometimes I do it from fresh. I have found that that doesn't make much of a difference to what I am cooking. I purely do it for ease, and it helps speed things up. Hopefully you'll enjoy these videos. If you do, please like, share, subscribe. Obviously, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Okay, today what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be making roast potatoes. An old classic, family favourite. I am going to make a big batch today, so I've got about exactly 2.5 kilos of potatoes here. Once they're cool, I will put them in the freezer. They are always nice and crispy once you heat them up, or once I heat them up, because I always heat them up in the air fryer again, so that keeps them nice and crispy. Obviously, you just have to make them to the size of the batch that you want. Okay. Before we get close up, let's just run through very quickly what you will need. Potatoes, obviously, like I said, I'm going to use 2.5 kilos. These are just Scottish white potatoes. You can use any potatoes you like, but I found that these work really well. Salt, pepper for seasoning. Today I'm going to be adding rosemary and thyme, which you can pick whatever herbs you want to add, but I find they give them a really nice flavour. I'll also be adding some garlic. Add that if you like, if you don't like. In the past I've also added chili flakes, gives it a nice spicy flavour. I've even been known to make curry to roast potatoes, so add cumin, coriander and various curry powders as well. It's really fun to experiment with, and you can make whatever flavours you like. Finally, what you will need is some sort of oil. Vegetable oil works really well. I'm not going to be using vegetable oil today. Actually going to be using lard. I do think that gives it a much deeper, richer flavour. At Christmas time, you can use exactly the same process if you're going to make it with goose fat or any other type of fat as well. Obviously, these are not going to be eaten by vegetarians, so it's I make them for myself, and unfortunately I do like the way that they taste. Okay, now the fun part. You don't need to see me peeling. I don't always peel the potatoes, but I am going to do that today because if they're for a special occasion rather than just for an everyday or a weekday meal. I do like to peel them because it makes them a lot fluffier when we come to stick them into the air fryer. You don't need to see me peel the potatoes, so I will get on with that, and I'll pick this up again once I've got enough potatoes peeled. Okay, that's me peeled half of the potatoes, so about 1¼ kilos done already. That's just a pan of cold salted water. For these, all I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them into, depending on the size, I want them all roughly the same size. Going to cut them into quarters. Just put them into the salty water so that they don't oxidize, but we will get them on the boil in a second. You can make these as big as you like. Obviously we are going to parboil them. Yeah, might want to just do that for a little bit extra if you make them bigger. These are all going pretty much into quarters. There's a few that are quite small, so I'll put those into halves. This bit doesn't take too long. As you can see, it's quite a full pan, so when I come to boil it, I just need them covered so that they start to boil. Right, that's those done. I know I need a lot of practice with my knife skills, so hey ho. Right, that's that done. Let me get the hob out. I will get the kettle boiled as well, so I get boiling water straight in there, just speed things up a bit. So I will take this up again once I get the hob out. Okay, that's that all ready to go, so let's get this on. What we're going to do, we're going to bring this to the boil. It's going to boil for, or we're going to let it, once it gets to the boil, we're going to let it boil for 5 minutes. Let's get the lid on, let's just speed that up a little bit. We're going to let it boil for 5 minutes. We just want to take the edge off the outside of the potatoes. They're definitely not going to be cooked in the middle, but we just want the edge off that. We don't need to watch this, so once these are coming to the end of the boil, I will take this up again. Okay, so that's been 5 minutes of boiling away like that, so let's just get that turned off. We will still need this hob, but let's get these potatoes drained. Okay, all we've done, we've taken the edge off them a little bit. What we do need though, is we still need the hob to be hot, but I have turned that off. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, add as much or as little of this as you like. Okay, obviously I've been doing these for such a long time, so about a tablespoon of the spices as well. So that's the thyme, and a tablespoon of rosemary as well. Okay, now I always find this is the important bit. We want to get them all rattled around and coated. Okay. Now the other bit I need to go in there is the freshly chopped garlic. Okay, don't have to add this, like I said, or you can add anything else that you want to add. Right, so let's get that all stirred around like that. And the smell is so nice. Okay, like I said, I'm going to be using lard. So 50 grams of lard has now gone into that. We want to get all these potatoes coated. I've chopped it into much smaller bits so that it melts quicker. Okay, if you're gotta make sure all of that lard has melted. If you're using vegetable oil, so a liquid oil, you got to just make sure the potatoes are all coated. If you're using a solid or a semi-solid fat, you just need to make sure that that is all melted. This is why we need the hob hot, because we're going to get it all, oh look at that, all coated. So hopefully we can see that nicely. They are looking delicious and smelling fantastic as well. These needed just a few more minutes in the boiling water. I haven't taken the edge off them enough. However, it's not going to make a massive difference to the final taste. Shouldn't make too much difference to the texture as well, but you do want a little bit softer than I've got them there. Okay, and that looks like all the fat has melted. So what I need to do, let me get rid of this hob, give myself a little bit more space so I can then get this decanted out and ready to get into the air fryer. I am going to use the solid, the drip tray or the solid tray in the air fryer this time, because I want these to sit in the juices. Let's get them all out onto there. Okay, oh look at that, most they all just about fit. Okay, in fact we will make them all fit. Yeah, maybe one or two too many there. So let's get them on. What I'll do is I'll put those couple into the next batch. We do want to be able to get in and mix these around a little bit in a second. So they do need just a little bit of space. Okay, I will get those in with the next batch. And so I've done probably just over half of the first batch. Right, now let's get that out of the way. Okay. Get rid of that. Now, we're going to get straight into the air fryer now. So let's get the other trays out of the way. We want this in the middle. They take 20 to 30 minutes. So 200 degrees centigrade. I'm going to put them on for 30 minutes on here. They will need a decent stirring. I'll come back after about 10 minutes, mix them around, make sure that they're cooking away nicely. You can keep an eye on them. So every 10 minutes I'll come and give them, make sure they're all coated as well. So let's get that started. So let's get the air fryer going. And what we'll do is we'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay, first 10 minutes just about up. I really do need to get an oven glove. Oh, I tell you what, they are sizzling away nicely. Oh, let me shut that. Okay, so what we need to do, just get these moved around a little bit. They're starting to crisp off nicely as well. Make sure we're getting them covered in that oil. Not so important just now. Next one, the next 10 minutes it will be, and we'll get them turned over as well. Okay, but they are cooking up nicely. Right, let's get those back in. Again, back into the middle. In the middle. off we go. I'll give them another 10 minutes and we'll be back to look at them again. Okay, next 10 minutes gone. So, ooh, smelling absolutely fantastic. Obviously, if they've got a little bit more space, you can throw them around a little bit more. Let's get these. You can see them browning off nicely now as well. So let's get them all stirred around. You can still see that. Start turning them over as well. But the smell and look delicious. Right, let's get that back in there. Turn it around as well, so the ones at the back are getting nicely heated. Ooh. Okay. Right, so last 10 minutes. I'm already looking forward to trying them. So back once this is done and we'll actually have a little taste test, see what they're like. Right, just under a minute to go on this. I'm really looking forward to trying these. They are so moreish. So while these were cooking, I actually prepared the second batch to go in. But let's get these ones out first and see what they're like before I get the second lot in, obviously. There we go. Right, so, oh, look at that. Oh, how nice do they look. There are some. Oh, right. Let's get that shut. Okay. A little bit too far across. So let's go for another one of these big ones so you can see it properly. It's got not a bad little bit of colour to it. Let's get it cut in half. So, oh, look at that. That looks lovely and nice inside as well. Soft and fluffy. Let's have a little taste. These are so moreish. Hot. They are perfect. Ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I'll get the next batch in. Obviously not going to put that on here. I'll let these cool. Once they are cool, I put them into freezer bags and they go straight in the freezer. Takes about 15 minutes to heat them up at the other end. But they are such a fridge filler, and I have them during the week sometimes. But this is for a Sunday roast. Thank you for watching. Obviously, like, subscribe, share. Any comments, please do down below as well. And I will see you next time.